Hey guys, it's Clint. Look who just showed up. Mr. Artie with his beautiful blue eyes. He just woke up, and Baby Bear just now woke up. So, let me put you down. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Biddy. This is our first design team video for Shabby Dabby Doodah. Tina, we are so honored, Tina, that you asked us to do this, and we're really excited about it. Chelle is indisposed at the moment. My name is Clint Ratcliffe. My wife is Chelle. She's the rambling crafter, and I sometimes go by the not so quiet quilter. And for obvious reasons, I can ramble with the best of them, actually. So, for all you new folks, I usually do the fabric covers. She'll do the lace covers, and I'm the fabric person. I'm not the paper person. So I just try to do mainly all fabric. I sew on a 100-year-old sewing machine. So I wanted to try something different. Our old subscribers will know I'm always willing to try something different with this fabric idea. So so this isn't the cover I'm going to make. This is my quilting cover. Let me move you guys over just a little bit. Sorry guys. This is the block I'm going to make right here. And yeah, that one's so that was the block I'm going to make. And of course, being on the design team, we have to choose the digitals. So this is my base fabric. Let me it's green. So this will be the solid color, of course. But being the fabric person, I had to do something different. So what I did is, sorry guys, it's not quite. There we go. Get to see all of Chelle's crap. I wanted to do something different. And I had this idea, and I've talked to you guys a while back about it, and that I had this idea, and this is time I was going to use it. So, okay, this is Miss Tina's digitals. And what it is I actually printed them on fabric. It's got my sticky crap on the back. So when I ran them through the printer, the fusible web, I just call it sticky crap. That's just what I am. What I do, these are two different digitals, but they have the same base background. So my squares that I cut out are 4-inch squares. So I will be cutting out 4-inch squares of this material. And I believe this is either, I think it's a heavy cotton. It even could be a linen, but this one's white. This one was more of had a cream color to it, and it's got a design on it. You can't really see it. The design is more white, so it does stick out a little bit more. And it does change the look of it quite a bit. So I have two of these. And I do not know how many squares I'm making, because I don't even know what the size of the cover is. I know I usually do a 9-inch by I think a 14, something like that. I don't know. That's Chelle's department, 9.5, somewhere around there. So I actually, like I showed you, I cut all my green fabric out. So I'm really wanting to try to showcase the fabric, well obviously the digitals, as much as possible. So, of course, that's what we're here for. So, they printed out really nice. I did have one that I wasn't happy with. And it's white, but then it has the white, I I guess they're flowers, I don't know. I don't really like the way it did. I'm not going to do that again. You can kind of see it's, I don't know. I know Chelle's going to use it for something else, so. But let me cut these. Yeah. That's the bad thing with this, is it's going to slide with it has that stuff on it, so yeah. Well, it just slides way too much with the backing of the fusible web on it. There we go. That will make life a little bit easier for me. Well, here is my lovely wife now. Like I said, she's the rambling crafter. There's her hand.
I definitely ramble.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them. Well, I was telling them we both do.
Yeah, Clint's more so than me.
I do a sew and chat, and usually, you know, I do the covers usually when I do a sew and a chat or a flip or something like that, but it's usually with fabric. But I tell stories, and usually just a kind of a BS session like you guys are visiting, so that's what I enjoy doing. So, let me see. So a little bit, slides a little bit. Get my glasses on, I tell you. I have to take my antique glasses in to get new lenses put in and readjusted. So I'm not wearing them. So,
We'll put the name of that digital down below in the details.
okay, I'm sure you guys heard that. She will give you the name of the digital and everything in the details. So I don't do anything. She does all the computer stuff, and I don't do any of that. I have to use a computer for maps and stuff for work, and I hate computers, so try not to want this to be accurate. And I can be a perfectionist. I know junk journaling is maybe not such a perfectionist craft, but I'm that way. So you have to kind of decide what you want to do, because if you look at this one, where I'm cutting it right now, this part won't be showcased, and I really think I would rather showcase as much of the floral fabric as I could, or more of the detail, I guess is what. So I'll probably I will probably pause the video and get all my squares cut in a few minutes, just that way you don't have to watch me cut square after square. That's one reason why I just went ahead and cut my green ones off camera, which is not much sense because I still got to glue all these. And get ready to sew. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video now, and I will be back after I get my squares, you know, mostly cut out, and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you in a little bit. Guys, okay, I got done my cutting up the digitals. Sorry guys, I have allergies and stuff, so I cut 4 of each. I actually only have 6 blocks, so for now that's all I'm gonna have. We'll see once I get these sewn and get it organized on the cover how I'm gonna lay it out. Then I'll figure out exactly if I need more. I can cut a couple more. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm trying to, these are going to be mix and matched. So, trying to decide, move my thing up. I really like this one. So I'm going to take that, even though it does have the print, you know, didn't print all the way to the edge. I'm okay with that. Most of it's going to be 1/4 of an inch seam anyway, so it really won't be that big of a deal. So I like this one, so I'm definitely going to put that in there. And this one I'll put in there. So, and with all this, I know I kind of want this one. There's the, and this one's kind of nice. It's kind of faded. There's a little bit here and there. And I have this. So I like this one. I think that one's really pretty, so I'm definitely going to use it.
Beautiful. I love them.
That, they turned out really neat. Okay. Well, since I already have one that really doesn't have a lot of the color, I think I'll go ahead and use 2 of these. So I'm going to keep these apart.
Is that cubby?
Yeah, it's cup.
What about these two?
I'm not using those.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. I mean, I already have a lot of the roses and stuff on this one, so I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. Like I said, I know that it's short, but that's okay. So, I'm making half squares. There's several ways of doing this. Like I said, I sew on a 100-year-old sewing machine. It's a hand crank Singer. And it is a little bit... I have to sew with the seam guide. So I have a tendency to... my mind just went blank, truthfully.
Not be straight?
I'm not the straightest sewer, and especially with it being a hand crank, because you only have one hand to do things with. So I actually sew them different. I'm using my Roxanne. It's glue-based, temporary basting glue. I don't pin, since I do use a seam guide. I don't worry about it. So I use the glue as my pins, and it works really well. So nothing fancy. So you got to put the face it together. That looks pretty good right there. So, yep. Okay, let me set that aside. Like I said, if something happens and I need extra squares, it's no big deal. I can just cut more. Like I said, I don't know what size the cover is. Chelle hasn't told me yet, and I really truthfully probably haven't even asked her. So
Probably the 9 by 14.
14 is what I thought. Yeah, that's what I said the first time was.
Yeah, that's about the typical size we make. Which ends up being 9 by 6 with a 2-inch spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People ask what size, and I don't figure it out that way. I always figure it out the whole thing. So kind of can confuse people when they, oh, it's 9 by 4. What? 9 by 14. So I don't. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a quilter by nature. I do crochet and stuff like that, but so I don't think like the junk journalers do as far as sizes, and that's all. I'm excited about this. This has been on my mind for quite a while. So when Tina first asked us, it's been quite a while because we're doing it. So that was the very first thing, was I've been wanting to print on fabric for quite a while. And then when she approached us about it, I thought about it, and I thought, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to take her digitals and use them in a different way, you know. That's the one thing with us, is I like doing things different. I really do. I try to think differently, and I think that's what's so fun about Chelle and I. She's the junk journaler for the most part, and we just think things different. So it really helps us with our projects, I think. And for you new folks, we've been married for 22 years now, and we actually work together.
Ow! Sorry.
We mark underground fiber optic lines, so we actually spend pretty much all day together. We have pretty much our whole marriage, except for the first probably 3 years or so.
Yep, pretty much.
So that's just the way the good Lord's made it work, and that's the way we like it. No, it's probably not for everyone, but
We haven't killed each other yet.
no, so that says a lot. We haven't killed each other, so you know. But that's just who we are. We enjoy just spending our time together. So it was funny. Was that one of our first time? Well, the first time she ever went with me was, it was on an emergency, a pole for the power company, and it was at the state line, Utah and Colorado state line, but it was down a really curvy road, and I have a very bad lead foot. Poor baby, she got sick. She had motion sickness so bad.
The way he would whip around those
Oh
corners.
man, I felt so bad for her. And I did slow down when I came back, you know, but she was already sick by then, so I felt so bad for her, you know. She was so sick. So I'm going to glue all these up real quick. And then I'll pause the video. I have to move my sewing machine over here, so. And then it's if you know anything about old singers, it's extremely heavy. It's like 35-40 pounds, I don't know. It is just heavy, and you can't really, I don't have a case. It's in a bent wood case, but I don't keep it shut, so since I use it all the time, I use it almost every day, so. I was going to say, I enjoyed the telling the stories, and I had one, you know, was it Monday? What day was it? Monday. Yeah, Monday. I had one of my, the school call me, well, and I said, well, I can be there Monday. Well, his name is Josh, and I didn't really have to do anything, so I texted Josh and said, hey, do you mind if I run by tomorrow, which would have been Tuesday morning? Oh, no, that's fine. More than happy to do that. So I go up and do the one by the house, and it was an emergency. It was a water leak, so. And I get back into my sweats and everything, and all of a sudden I get a call from Josh saying, are you still planning on coming down today? And I thought, man, you got to be kidding me. I already asked you once if I could do it another, the next day, and you said, yeah. So I went down there. I thought, well, I know they needed me, so. So I got to looking at my phone this morning, and it had a different last name. So I texted Josh from a different company in Durango. and then he said he knew who it was because I do work for him, but apparently he actually needed me on that locate to mark a power line. So it turned out okay, but I still had. But yeah, I couldn't believe I did that. I was thinking, yeah, that is me to a T.
Well, and then we couldn't figure out why he was like,
I know you're thinking, dang you, Josh, and he's a good kid. I think a lot of them. He's a real neat kid. But I'm thinking, dang you, I told you. You said I would be okay. So, of course, I didn't, like I said, I just went down there and I didn't think nothing of it. I charged him pretty good for it, thinking, well, he made me get back in my work clothes and go to work. Okay, guys, let me pause it and grab my sewing machine. Okay, guys, I got my sewing machine over here, and I'll show you how I do my half squares. There's several ways to do it. One way is, you do your center, and I, like I said, I'm not the straightest sewer, so that's one reason why I use a seam guide. And I'm going to chain piece all this. So, not a lot of room to sew with having it hanging off the table. So, try to get a better position here. This is a 1916 Singer Red Eye. It was made on December 31st, 1916. So, now if you guys aren't familiar with chain piecing, it saves thread first and foremost. So you run past your needle a couple stitches, and then just stick the next one in there and just keep going. Uh-oh. You okay, Jazz? Oh. Our little Jazz girl was sneezing. I know we've had people wanting to see the cats, and so eventually we'll get them all up here. What was it, hon? In one box?
yeah.
Seriously.
It was kind of a smaller box, but yeah.
We had a package down at the road, which is unusual. Usually they, so they left it at the road. Usually they bring them up. So, do what, hon? Yeah. I don't know what she said. I just said yeah. I know we're taking precautions, spraying the package and stuff down with Lysol. They say that's really important. So with this way, I'm going to sew all my four corners like this. And then I can show you the next step. So let me sew this last one, and then I'm going to pause the video, so sew all four corners, and do it that way. And I'm only sewing with white thread. I don't bother sewing with different colors unless it's something fancy. I just don't bother doing it. My quilting cover, the red one, I will be sewing it with red. I do have one spool of red. So, okay, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to sew the rest of these. This little girl, I think you can see her, is Miss Jazzy Lynn. She just came up. She's a sweetheart. She's a petite little thing. She's so tiny. So, I'm going to keep sewing. Okay, guys, I'm just finishing up my very last seam. So, oh, bummer, really? Well, that's a bummer. Huh. Let me see where I am then. That one, that one. Okay, I ran out of bobbin. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I got my stupid bobbin wound, and I was seriously just thinking, I wonder how my bobbin's doing. Well, it answered my question. I really seriously was. I was thinking, when's the last time I wound my bobbin? And it came off the very last part of the very first block, so I have to do the whole, almost the whole string back. That's okay. Hot water heater decided to quit working today.
Yeah.
So now we ain't gonna have hot water all weekend, but that's okay. Didn't flood the house or anything. Chelle noticed there wasn't no hot water, and I figured, well, the pilot light went out. So I looked at it, and wasn't that. It was dripping, so that's okay, you know. At least it didn't flood and damage everything. Okay, this string piecing is just so nice to do. Chain piecing. Just makes life a lot easier. And you don't waste as much thread. That's nice. One reason I like the hand crank is I can stop the needle wherever I want to, whenever. That makes it just so nice, and it really does, you know. One of our, I'll have to look the name up, but she uses a treadle sewing machine. So we actually have one just like this one that's a treadle that our quilt shop gave us. She said it was in her way, and we had been in there previously and had talked about having vintage sewing machines, and she asked me if I wanted to come and look at. She had one in the back, and but lo and behold, it was a treadle sewing machine, so it meant a lot. Mom had came for a visit, and she got it running really good. I cleaned it and everything, oiled it really well, and she got it belt put on it and everything. So when we saw the owner, she said, I knew I gave it to the right person, and that meant a lot, you know, because I knew we'd take really good care of it. It meant a lot that she did this. So, okay, I'm done with my sewing machine now. Now it's time for cutting. Let me pause it. I'll be right back. Miss Jazzy Lynn wants to make another appearance, but I told her no. So, this is a rotary cutting mat, of course. But it's turnable, and I got it actually for this reason mainly, so it rotates. How nice is that? The one thing I didn't like about it, I felt it was way too slick, and so I used that ruler spray on it to help hold it down better, which is what's on these rulers. These are Quilter Select. And if you see, it's foggy, and it really doesn't slide very easily, so that's what I got. That's why I sprayed it. So, how I do these is, so I sewed all all four sides. So I'm going to take it corner to corner, being careful, make sure I get it right in the corner. Because if you're off just a little bit, it can throw off your blocks, and that what drives me nuts. So. And if you are careful the way you lift your ruler up, they won't slide. And you do the same thing. And I did make one boo-boo. It's not a big thing. I'll show you what happened. Like I said, this is my very first time ever printing on fabric. So I wasn't too sure how to use it, and instead of looking up on YouTube, I really wanted to figure it out myself. So see, you get 4 even squares. What do you think?
Beautiful. Ooh, I love it.
So, the boo-boo I had is the stuff that I printed her digitals on, Tina's digitals, I put fusible web on it. Well, this doesn't have fusible web, and I still have to iron these open. So, it's not a big deal. I'll just use the backing, and I'll fold them that way. But that's what it's going to look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see, look at that. Look at that, huh?
Oh, that is gorgeous.
So I'm going to mix and match them. See how these are so different? I'm probably going to put, one of each or 2 of these or whatever on all of them. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure how many blocks I'm going to have. Like I cut 6 4-inch blocks. So each one of these will create one finished block. So that's 6 blocks. I don't think I'll need any more. I'm just going to figure out how I'm going to arrange them and stuff. But that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these cut. I'm going to continue cutting all these out. And I have my interfacing. This is what I do all my soft covers out of. And it's pretty thick. That's what this one's made out of. So I'm going to figure out about how I'll get it cut. And I'll get it all measured, find out the center points, vertical and horizontal, where your spine's going to be, and then I'll start, I'll get my blocks ironed, and then start laying them out, sewing them together, and we'll figure out exactly where we're going to go from here. So, hey guys! I got all my squares cut out. Sorry. Having a hard time talking. Sorry about that. And I centered my interfacing. So, so this is the pattern that Chelle and I decided on. I thought about, sorry guys, switching and facing this side to this side, but I really like how this is going to turn out. So now I have to start gluing and sewing. So, got my glue. So, I still have to put the fusible web on this. I do have it on the digital fabric, but it's not on my green fabric. So I'm just going to go ahead and redo, put the interfacing on this. So, I'm not going to glue it all for you guys, but let's just get started and go from there. Oh, sorry, my allergies are so bad. I had a horrible coughing attack just a little bit ago, and tore me up, so I'm trying to, I took my inhaler, but kind of, and I did take a picture of my pattern, just so I would have a reference. It's on my phone. So, I have, I trimmed all the, I trimmed my squares. So, and this one's a half one. So this part's going to be the green, so it's going to be showcased with the green. So, just, I have a bad habit of missing, turning things around when I glue them. So this way, this will help me stay on track, do it right. Not 100% sure what the size is going to be on this, just because when you take all the 1/4 inch seams and everything, so I'll know that more when I get it all sewn. So that, and some of it's going to be a little bit, you know, the squares ain't perfect. I'm okay with that. It won't be that bad once I get to pressing everything out, you know. So, yeah. I'm just trying to do 2 at a time. It's going to make life a lot easier for me. And like I said, I have a habit of turning things around. And Chelle's in the kitchen, so she usually keeps me, checks my work, so make sure I'm doing everything, not doing, messing up, you know. Have to get a hot water heater next week. Thank God we didn't. Chelle had turned on the hot water and it wasn't hot. She couldn't figure out why, and I just figured, you know, our pilot light on the hot water heater went out. Well, it had started dripping, so it went out. So it hadn't started. It just barely started dripping. So it wasn't this huge flood in our house. As it's not a huge water heater, but it's a 40-gallon, and so that would have been pretty big mishap. So I'm just thankful that it didn't just dump all that water and kept going. So.
Oh, you're a brat, Daddy.
Which one? My little Art?
Little guy.
What's he doing?
He is climbing in the dishwasher, and then I pick him up, and then he hangs on, so I can't pull him out.
He's a turd. Little Artie, he loves that dumb dishwasher, so yeah, he kind of makes it a challenge at times. He's an ornery little turd. He's the Siamese one. His name is actually Arctic.
You might want to go off camera and glue all this.
I'm almost done.
Oh, wow.
Don't take me that long, babe.
Well, I know. I was just thinking you had a short amount of time.
That's all right. We got time.
Sorry. Hi, guys. It's now Friday morning, if Clint didn't tell you.
I didn't tell him. So, yeah, we had 8, and then after that, went to bed. We go to bed early. I'm old and sick. For their new ones, both Chelle and I have RA and fibromyalgia and stuff, so I get wore out pretty darn easy anymore.
I have leg issues.
She's got leg issues, so
Diabetes.
we have a tendency to go to bed early, and we just rest in bed and watch MASH and stuff, so. Okay, that's it. I'm going to pause it and bring over my sewing machine and start sewing all this stuff together. Okay, I got my sewing machine. That cord. So, I'm not gonna have you watch me do all this sewing. So I'm gonna, like I did yesterday, I'm gonna chain piece everything together, and my iron's in the kitchen. That's the only place I have. Chelle's taking over my table.
I don't know what
So
you're talking about.
she does too. She bought me this antique table. I think last year, I think. So it's in our living room, and we use it for our crafts, so for videoing and everything. But sorry about that. She kind of took it over, so that's all right, you know. I usually sew on a TV tray table that I have over by my rocker, so. So once I sew all these two together, I will iron them, and then I'll go back and sew all those pieces together. So okay, guys, so this is what I'm doing. You can barely see it, but I'm going to sew all my strips together, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, sorry. I got them all sewn. So I have to press them. Like I said, my iron's in the kitchen. So I'm going to go press all these, and then I'll lay them out again, and then glue the sections together. So I will be back in a little bit. Guys, sorry, I haven't pressed them yet. I just turned on my iron. Oh, like I said, it's an antique iron, so I need to let it warm up. So I figured why I am waiting on that to heat up. This is the sticky crap I use. It's called fusible web, and they also call it, Shell used the term Wonder Under, which I don't know what that is. If that means I'm thinking that's the name of the actual brand of it. So, like, I don't know. So I don't know exactly what that term is, but that's okay. Some things you just don't need to know. So, I'll have to ask Shell. I've heard it, but I don't. She's the one that usually buys stuff, and I just, say, "Oh, honey, I need interfacing," and she looked for it and got it. Same way, with the fusible web too. So, I'm gonna have to have the fusible web on both sides of my interfacing. The one thing with this is I am not worried about finding the center in the inside. I'm only worried about that on the outside, the cover itself, just because it really is, it's not that super important, so I don't worry about it too much. I know I don't have a lot of room, so that big sewing machine I got. So I'll have to have two of these, and I was bad and I didn't cut it straight the last time I used it. So here's my rotary cutter. And I'll probably just go ahead and just get it closed. It's not like it's super important. I have extra room down at the bottom. So while I'm ironing the pieces, I'm going to go ahead and iron this on the cover. That way I don't have to worry about it. It'll be ready to go. And so I'll be right back. Okay, guys, sorry. sorry guys. I tell you, my brain, I slept and I think I screwed up. Well, actually I know I screwed up. Here's one piece. And of course, here would be the second piece of paper on the same side that I just, I tell you. So, I put the stupid fusible web on the same side. Oh, so I had to cut it. It was funny. Yeah, it's funny. So, yeah. So I got that. Sorry. When I centered did my center on my book on the cover, I done that in heat erasable marker. So I'm gonna have to redo that, but that's no big deal. So let me put this here, and I got my squares done. So let me grab my dumb phone and figure out how I'm going to lay these out real quick. Okay, I tell you guys, some days my mind, it went this way. So, oh, sorry guys, I don't mean to sniffle. And stupid sinuses are driving me bonkers. It's got to be on this side. So where's my other one? Here's this side. Okay, so these go right like that. Right, yes. Okay, so that's the way these go. So I'm probably gonna, I don't have tons of time, and I actually still have a lot to do.
Well, you can always end it and then do it.
Yeah, well, that's true. She said I can end it and do another video. So let me glue some of these up real quick. And then I might go ahead and stop the video. And then start over again. See, I would say, that's not it. I bet it's, is it this one? Yeah. So this is the next one, and it has one of these. Probably, I would say this one. Yep, that's it. It helps to have that, you know, it's always a good idea to take a picture of it. That way you put it together the way it's supposed to be. So what I'll do is I'll glue all the rows, and then I will sew those together. So that's got to be this one right here, and then this must be this one right there. So this one goes to there, like that. Sorry guys, my voice is just horrible today. Sick of this sinus infection and everything else that goes with it. Pretty good there. You know, and this isn't going to be perfect. The base fabric will cover up some of the lines and stuff. I mean, if I was doing an actual quilt block, I would, you know, I would be very, very diligent in making it just right. Sometimes on my quilt one that I did, I actually shoot, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh well. Wasn't important. Okay guys, I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to sew all this stuff down, and then we'll iron it and get the rows made. So let me... Okay guys, I got this ironed. Now I'm going to sew my 4 pieces together. I got them laid out on the order. So I'll have to do 2 more. So 2 of these together each, and then I'll do the second seam. And then that part of the cover will be done. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. Okay, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this video in a second. Yeah, there we go. I use, like I said, my iron thing marker. So I got to redo all my center lines. But that's the blocks sewn together. So we're going to end this video now, and then I'll continue finishing the front in the next video. And then I'll do the inside and bind it. So I will let you guys go. Thank you for visiting, and I hope you have a good day. And we'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys. Be sure and subscribe.
And please hit the thumbs up. Hey, take care. Bye.